Hey guys, Mystic Rue here. I am a Twitch streamer and I made this video for you guys who get motion sickness or are just too scared to leave the van when you play Phasmophobia. My hopes are with these tips and tricks you will be able to join your friends when you play Phasmophobia. I hope you enjoy. As the van person, I own all the equipment. I never die, so we never have to replace it, which is the benefit of being the van person. It's kind of like the person who funds everything. So as you can see, I have literally everything. Obviously, I'm a higher level, so starting out, it would be a lot. But when you first jump on, it's going to take a while to build all this up. But over time, it really is a benefit. So adding all my gear, as you see, they now have this add all button. We are playing everything on professional level. So as you can see, we literally have maxed out all the gear that we can take with us. So we want to position ourselves while Sieg loads in, which he just did. Alright, we're going to get that going for him. Here's another thing. Sieg doesn't have to grab the key. If I have the key, he can just open the door. So one less thing he has to worry about grabbing, and I get everything ready. You'll also notice our clock is at 0 because we're at professional level, so they do not give us any load time to get ready. The first thing you want to do as your van operator is open the door so your team can prep and grab what they need to be more efficient. And we're going to look at the objectives. You have to discover what type of ghost that is. That never changes. You gotta get the ghost to walk through salt, so I need to remind Sieg to bring salt from time to time. We want to prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix, and we want to cleanse the area with a smudge stick. So our ghost's name is Nancy Davis, and they're unsure if the ghost responds alone or to a group, which seems to be on a professional level they're not telling us anymore. So it is more of a challenge that way. While Sieg is going in and doing his initial walkthrough, we are going to start prepping the video cameras. When there's only you, the van operator, and one other person, it is always good to prep these for them. That helps us out because part of our job of being the van operator is running the cameras. Because we have all the gear, we do have the head camera, so we can see what Sieg is seeing right now, so we can keep him nice and safe. We did have some ghost activity, but if we were spiking, we'd want to make sure that we gave Sieg a heads up and keeping him on his sanity. Let me check in with Sieg and see how he's doing. Sieg, how are you holding up?
Okay, I got 2 dolls, so
sounds good. Your sanity's at 73. Just give you a heads up. We're going to need a crucifix, a smudge stick, and some salt once you're ready.
I'm located at the ghost room. We have freezing temps.
Freezing temps noted. So that the team doesn't have to worry about anything, we're keeping track of everything. He's saying freezing temps. I want to check to make sure that anything that can be crossed off is crossed off. So far, everything looks like it can still go, except for Spirit Box. We can see now that there's nothing there, so we know it's not going to be Spirit Box, and we're going to want to let Sieg know that. Sieg, just a heads up, it's not going to be Spirit Box because we have freezing temps.
Noted.
This makes it so that he doesn't have to worry about opening his journal and then the ghost hunting him while he's trying to prep everything. So we keep track of all that, and then when the end, they adjust their journals and we close up shop and we head back. See, just a heads up, the ghost's name is Nancy Davis. So now he's prepared for this. We're going to also want to let him know that his sanity is getting pretty low. See, your sanity is hovering in like the mid-40s.
So I can get haunted now.
Yes, sir. We are flatlining for our total activity right now, so we're not too worried. But his sanity is something we want to keep an eye on. Noted, it was objective 2. I'm looking at the camera, but so far no orbs and no dots.
What's my other 2 objectives?
You want to prevent it from haunting with the crucifix and then cleanse the area with a smudge stick. Your sanity is also at 23. A lot of our job is watching the monitors once Our team is inside, especially keeping them safe. We aren't able to really communicate them once they're being hunted. Smudge crossed off. Okay, so he has smudged the room.
Fingerprints.
Fingerprints noted. I let Sieg know that I heard him because sometimes with the walkies, things go haywire. Okay, so ghost writing is still on the table. EMF 5 is on the table. Dots projector is not on the table anymore, so we're taking that off. Ghost orbs are still on the table. Sieg, we're down to EMF 5, ghost writing, and ghost orbs, no dots. We can also see that he did have freezing temps.
I'm gonna wander around for a little bit.
Sounds good. Stay safe. Your sanity is at 81.
I need to get it lower.
EMF 5.
Yes.
Noted. That's also our last piece of evidence. Heads up, it's a djinn.
Okay. So I gotta kill 3.
So now that we also know it's a djinn, we can head straight to Ghost and make sure that we read up on our information so that our team knows the best. The turning off the location's power source will prevent the djinn from using its ability. Right? A djinn will travel at faster speed if its victim is far away. We should know these things so that we can make sure that our team stays safe and they don't die. See, yeah, you're going to want to kill the power, right? Which will keep the djinn from using its ability.
Already done.
Perfect. Also, its strength is that it will travel at faster speeds if the victim is far away. So just be careful. See, once you're good, we also need to blow out a candle.
Noted.
I'll put it by the door for you.
Can you leave a lighter?
Will do. Sometimes being the van person means bringing things up to the door.
Spirit box.
Spirit box noted. And I broke my number 1 rule. Never adjust your book while you're inside. We're down to Phantom and Poltergeist.
What do I need?
Ghost writing or dots.
Set up camera.
You want to make sure that your team, if they do walkie you, especially if it's a solo of them going in the house, that you are using the walkie to talk to them back, because in the event of the haunting, right, they're gonna think that you didn't hear them, that they're being hunted, and they're gonna panic, right? And you want to keep them knowing as much information at all times as possible. Our team only has to worry about grabbing one with a camera and taking it off. They don't have to worry about grabbing it, taking that extra time. We want to make it as efficient as possible for our team to succeed, get in and out, and as safe as possible. His job is he wants to make sure that we can see what we need to see. So, right, we turned on our camera. We tapped over to look at our dots. Our dots is perfectly matched up, by the way. Not seeing any orbs yet, but we would want to note that. And let Sieg know that we found evidence if we do. That way he's not looking for anything extra. Sounds good. When you get a chance, can we put a camera in the opposite direction? Sometimes when you're looking for orbs, they are not in the direction that you're pointed. So you do want to make sure that your team knows that so that you can keep an eye on the monitor and they can take care of what they need to do. All right, we do want to spend a good chunk of time looking at the monitor because in the event an orb does show up, it could be faint, it could be off the screen in seconds.
5.
This button here will actually change the different floors. So Sieg is filling up our photos so that we can get as much money from this as possible. Because even though I can't die because I'm in the van, right? we still want to make sure that there is money in the event that something does happen or I need to go in for a reason, right? And all the gear is lost, that we have enough to recoup our losses. One thing that you might have to remind your team as the van person is to always make sure they grab their headset. This is something that you shouldn't worry about until you get pretty high level, but it is nice to be able to see where your team is in the house. And sometimes before cameras are placed, you'll be able to spot orbs or freezing breath or something before they are, which can be useful. So this gives Sieg time to put what he needs to in the journal. He doesn't have to mark the evidence. He literally just has to pick the answer, which is gin. This makes it so that he can do that, and when I'm ready, I can close up. Because he knows he's in there alone. If the hunt begins, right, if it starts hunting, this door shuts. So when Sieg is in there, he has actually planned this flashlight so that if it, right now, a lot of areas lit up, if this door were to shut, he would know he's being hunted. And to keep himself safe, that's kind of an early warning sign for him because he will no longer see the light from the flashlight. This actually gives him a lot of extra time to hide or run or whatever he needs to do to stay safe. Sometimes if this is placed too close, it'll knock it over. Or if it's placed too far away, it won't shine through the house, so he won't be able to see it. For the average group to be below 25 sanity, I've got to get my sanity pretty low. Sieg would have to be at 0, and I would have to be at 50 for us just to hit 25. Obviously, being the van person and in charge of all of this, I can't let myself die. And I do have other duties to the team. So, reading what I have, and then in between, I have to stand just inside the doorway. Literally to the point I can back out within seconds if I needed to. Sieg, as a heads up, we got a sanity check.
It's okay, we can exploit the Ouija board.
There's that too, but I can stand right here. So as you can see, I'm just inside, and I know I'm inside enough because I'm hearing kind of like the fishbowl sound. The kind of dead, eerie silence. Sitting in the dark with like no flashlight, just kind of standing here, will lower my sanity pretty well, which will allow us to get the objective without putting myself in too much risk. Now, if we were on a lower difficulty, where we had the timer and it wasn't instant that the ghost could start attacking us, then that would be a different story. I could walk in, I could walk around, I could do some things, but we don't want to take that big of a risk because there's a lot of gear to replace. Now, I have built up, obviously, a lot of money, so I can rebuy a lot of stuff if I needed to. However, we don't want to take that risk if we can help it. Now, obviously, as the van person, we do have to keep checking on other things so the team stays safe. So we gotta make sure that we do this in intervals. God, is it dots? It's bad when the van person is the last one left alive. Okay, Sieg, are you saying yes to dots? Are you throwing the mug because it's yes to dots? Okay. If it's yes to dots, throw the mug on the ground. Okay, sounds good. It's a phantom. Okay, Sieg, ready? We're gonna go and get you some help, buddy. I know a necromancer. And that's some tips and tricks for you guys. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you next time, either live on Twitch or in the next video.